Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter. I welcome you back to the Mango Grove for your daily analysis video. The charts are red, the trend is short, and everything's looking so bearish. But over here at the Mango Grove, we are all loving it. We have been on the right side of the markets for a very long time, and it does feel good. Now, this is a very good example of how you don't need to catch every trade, but if you are patient, you will catch the ones that count. And hey, we did catch a very good trade yesterday. We'll go ahead and update you guys on that, but here we have the Mango Research dashboard. So let's start with that. We already mentioned how everything is red today and the trend is short again, right? Yesterday, if you guys do remember, everything was green, but the trend still said short. And what are we over here at the Mango Grove? We are trend traders, right? We stick to the trend, and the trend was still down, guys. Yesterday, Bitcoin was printing a 20% green sign over here. Okay, I think Link was, no, it was Dash that was around 38%. That's when everybody's emotions get really riled up, right? And they get bullish and they want to buy into that. I don't really blame people for that. I used to be that. I've gone through all of those emotions, guys. I am no better than any of you, okay? I've been getting a lot of PMs, people, okay. The point I'm trying to make over here is that I have gone through all of those emotions, all of those frustrations myself as well. And that's precisely why I started this channel, to show you guys that even you can do this, that even I went through all of this. I was in your shoes, and all it takes is self-reflection, discipline, and if you are committed, you can start recognizing those emotions and actually playing against them. Okay, so that's what we are here to do, guys. Together, all become good traders. Together, all be able to show the finger to the boss. And when a situation like this occurs, where a pandemic or a potential recession is knocking on your door, you're not stressed. You're in the mango mood. You're stress-free. Why? Because our profession here, guys, is recession-proof. It doesn't matter whether the markets are all crashing, whether there are major job losses. And I may sound cold by saying that. I don't intend to sound cold. I have thought about all of these things. I was working as a software developer at Adobe when they laid off 11 floors of a 13-story building in one freaking afternoon. It was the most brutal thing I had ever seen. And I was a young kid, okay, and that really impacted me. And I saw guys who were like around, they were 30 years with the company and they were let go like that. And that stuck with me. That really stuck with me, because you don't want to be seeing that as a kid. You begin to question, hey, is the loyalty only one-sided? And I guess I was really lucky and at the same time unfortunate to see something like that as just so early into my career, because as I started moving up the ranks, when I got that $100,000 job too, I was never able to fully give it my all, you know. I was always thinking, at a drop of a hat, one day they're going to call me in and lay me off. And it's not going to be your boss's fault either. It's going to be your boss's boss who shows up from head office in freaking Madrid or something that decides, hey, you know what, we are no longer in requirement of your services, and you'll be just let go, okay? And that is scary, because you don't know whether your skills will still be in demand, blah. So I had to really put thought into all of it, and I was like, okay, I need to develop a skill set that makes me independent of anybody else. So that's why I actually started Skip MBA. For those of you who do know, go ahead and check out skipmba.com. It was my self-studying journey into self-studying an MBA, because I was initially supposed to go to Harvard and all of that nonsense and do my MBA, but I was like, there's no way I'm paying $100,000 for all of that. So that's how that started, and that's how I started studying economics and finance, and I was doing it on my own, right? So I got to pick the things that mattered, and because you don't know what matters, you also go through a lot of junk at the time. I remember reading around I read a good 100 books in that journey, okay? It was hard to begin with. I had to really put a lot of discipline, and I'm taking all of the discipline, all my discipline from all my self-studying and my gym, I'm bringing onto the trading world. Trading is all about discipline. That's one of the reasons why I do well, because of the discipline I acquired in all my other facets of life. Yeah, so anyways, going back to what I was saying, because of myself starting there, I was able to realize that, hey, you know what, there are going to be times where we go through some major job losses, and we're going to have recessions. And that's when I realized that, hey, the trading world is something that has lifelong returns in terms of the skills. Okay, your skills will never ever be outdated. You can always use it. The things that we are using here, the Mango community, guys, are things that have been used for 100 years. Okay, 100 years. Okay, because we are talking about psychology of markets, not fancy things like Elliott wave, blah blah blah. Now I'm not trying to diss people who do use Elliott waves, but we are using a combination of understanding the story that the market is telling us, right? A more holistic view of what is going on, not just blindly trading patterns, not just blindly trading horizontals and candlestick analysis and all that stuff. No, it's a combination of everything put together. Wow, I've gone on a very long rant today, but yeah, where was I going with this? Yeah, essentially what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, this is what I was saying, right? It doesn't matter if something like this happens, a pandemic. I am not in any stress at all in terms of, hey, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose my job? No, the markets are going down and I'm making money. I'm making even more money in terms of so much opportunity, right? So much volatility. And if I'm bullish on Bitcoin and I see this as only one black swan event, I'm making that much more Bitcoin because the prices are down. When you're shorting Bitcoin, by the way, you can make a lot more Bitcoin than when you're longing Bitcoin on the way up. I'm sure you guys understand that. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, when you're a trader, all of the stuff that's happening out there can actually play to your advantage. So yeah, here we are, Bitcoin. Everything's red. I'm done with my rant. Usually I do my rants in the middle of the video, so I've already caught you guys in by then, but this time I started at the beginning. So if you guys have already tuned off by now, I don't blame you. Let's start with some actual technical analysis. Is there anything we want to talk about here? Link down 17%, man. Ooh, we'll go ahead and check out Link as well later. Let's start with Bitcoin. We were watching this pump in yesterday's video, right, while I was talking to you guys about my short position, and I was talking to you guys about how I had filled 2 out of 3, and I had another position around 7,250, and I was really hoping that we come up there. As you guys know, we did not come up there, but guess what? I actually decided to take my fill anyways. What I mean is I essentially sold into market and I got all my positions filled, and the reason I did that was because we finally got the signal that we were waiting for ever since 8,500, right? So the Mango Vine on the 12-hour gave us the good signal at around 8,000. I believe it was 8,200, 8,400-ish, but we were waiting for the pump up to 8,550 to give us that perfect signal. We wanted to play it safe, and we missed out on that big move, right? But we are still waiting for that perfect signal on the Mango Vine 12-hour, and right when I ended the video, and that's a little bit of a lie, I kind of knew it was going to show up. I did not want to show you guys a 12-hour Vine. I'm going to be very honest with you guys, because I want to be fair to the people who do have access to the Mango Vine, and since they have put they have put their money on the line, as in not on the line, they paid for it, right? So I have to be fair. If I just show it to all of you guys, then what's the point of them paying for it, for the edge? Okay, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, you are paying for a very strong edge. By the way, I have been meaning to announce this to you guys, just to be fair to everybody. I gave heads up to the seed guys already well in advance. The Mango Vine is no longer going to have the current payment plan, so the current pricing and the lifetime access is no longer going to be available. It's only going to be a subscription based model moving forward, so you can renew it on a yearly basis. So yeah, you're not going to have lifetime access anymore. And in regards to price, I don't think the price is going to be the same either. I'm not sure what the price is going to be just yet. I will be discussing that with Krisha and some of the other guys as well. I'm just not so certain on that, but definitely the lifetime plan is no longer going to be available. Yeah, so just a quick heads up on that. Let's go ahead and show the Mango Vine quickly, the signal that I gave yesterday. I think some of you caught it. I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about it, but I'm not sure many of you guys were shorting into this, even though this was a really good opportunity. As you guys can see, the Mango Vine over here on this entire zone, right? The entire zone, it was telling us, be careful. We may be seeing a bounce very soon, and you guys know how much importance we put in on the 12-hour yellow Vine, right? When this is flashing yellow, it is giving that good call, and right over there, guys, it flipped red right at the most opportunistic time, basically telling you, hey, get ready, and gave you the signal right over here. So I knew when it flipped red, I was watching that. That's why I was actually scaling to my position. But I did not want to. Last time what happened? Last time I was waiting for the perfect trade and I ended up missing this entire thing, right? Which is why I decided to scale into my trade this time around. Okay, so you guys are seeing how I am correcting my mistakes and how I am trying to improve as a trader, because it wasn't worth it for me to say, hey, Sean, wait for that 8,550, you'll get that bounce there, be patient, and then the Mango Vine 12 hour will give you that signal as well, and then you'll get the perfect trade towards the downside. Because what was I thinking in my mindset? I was thinking, hey, you know what, Sean, the Mango Vine has been nailing it so well. Every time it gives that perfect signal, you're going to get a great trade. But firstly, that is the wrong mindset to have, because you're not going to get the perfect signal every single time. And secondly, eventually it's going to get it wrong as well, right? So I in a way, I was playing recency bias. I was falling victim to recency bias, and we did get a very good signal, but I waited for the perfect signal. I ended up missing the move. I should have said, hey, I may get the perfect signal, but even the good signal has been really powerful. I'm going to start zoning into my position. Okay, so that's how I fixed this over here. But guess what? This time, if I'd actually waited, I would have got the perfect signal and I've been rewarded for it. But in my opinion, and we're going to talk a little bit of psychology over there, that is bad trading behavior for the future. I may have gotten this trade right at the tip. I may have gotten it right at the tip if I waited, or I may have missed a great opportunity. Because look at this. I do want to talk a little bit about this. Look at where we closed. We hit our measured move, right, at around 6,600. And we close exactly over there. The candles close exactly around there. So this was a spillover that we got because, hey, people are probably getting liquidated either on their over leverage short positions and getting squeezed out. And this is that wick that we probably saw. And maybe not. I really don't know what's happening. But I wanted to start zoning in from this position and get a nice position for a move towards the downside. And as you guys can see, we are getting that move towards the downside. We got that move towards the downside. I actually did have a take profit over here as well. I'll talk about that very soon. Is there anything else I want to talk about the 12 hour? So yeah, we got the perfect signal on the 12-hour Mango Vine. That's what I was saying, right? I got all three of my positions filled, and because I got all three of my positions filled, I had the confidence to put my take profit for one out of the three positions right over here. So that essentially allows me to reposition for a high low if we do get back to around 6,500. Do we get that though? We'll talk about that too. So I put my take profit here. You might be asking, Sean, why over here? Why somewhere around here? For a couple of reasons. Actually, I was looking at this major formation over here at around 5,600. Now I would like for price to come down to 5,600, and that would have been a way for me to even take a long of that, a scalp long. But as you can see, we got front run. So I actually was looking for a scalp long over here if we did come down there, but I took a take profit around 5,800, not even 5,700, not even 5,600, 5,800. The reason I did that was because I was playing it off the 4-hour cloud. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I was playing. Okay, so here we have the 4-hour cloud, and as you guys can see, this candle over here was the candle that was playing out during yesterday's video, and we closed this candle inside the cloud. So that was a rejection, closing inside the cloud, and the likely play is that we go on over to the bottom of the cloud after that. But at the time I was looking at the 21 EMA as well. Okay, so the combination of the 21 EMA on the 4-hour along with the bottom of the cloud, that was the play, and the 4-hour 21 EMA at the time was sitting around 5,800. So it was a little bit more objective of a level for me to take a play off. I didn't want to get greedy, because usually on the first test of the 21 EMA you do see a bounce, right? Now, what do you know? We actually did come and play it on over to the bottom of the cloud, and actually spilt on over to the underneath as well. So I could have gotten greedy, played for this structure over here, and maybe I would have gotten it, but I don't know, right? Would I have put it right on the line? In that case, I would have actually missed it, because when I actually tried for a scalp, I missed it. Okay, when I tried for a scalp of this play over here, I actually missed it. But I did take a scalp play of this wick over here at 5,877, and this level over here was confluencing with a lot. By the way, guys, if you guys are on the Mango C program, I uploaded a new video just this afternoon where I explain in detail one of my favorite strategies, my favorite scalping strategies, where I essentially break down what I did over here in detail. It's around 20 minutes long. I do recommend you guys watch it if you have watched every other module thus far, okay, because it is a combination of everything that we have discussed thus far. If you have not watched the risk management module, just yet, do not watch this video, because you'll get tempted to play it and you will get into trouble. Okay, it is under the trading strategies module. I've posted it. It's probably getting processed for the HD format, so just hold on for a little bit. By the time you guys watch this video, it should be ready. Okay, but again, do not watch that video, or do not play the strategy at the very least until you've watched all the other modules. Okay, Ollie, I am looking at you, man. I know you have just joined, so there's no way you could have watched all the modules just yet. Okay, so be patient, guys. These plays show up all the time, and yeah, this is one of my favorite plays. Very, very, very cool, and you guys are gonna like it. Okay, you guys are gonna like it. Okay, so let's clear out everything over here. Okay, actually no, let's talk about this a little bit. Why this level over here? Why 5,800? Well, we have the bottom of the cloud over here. Well, we also have a major level over here coming at around 5,888 was the weekly 200 EMA. Yep, there we go. TradingView decided to finally load, and right over here you can see that this purple line over here, guys, is the 200 EMA on the weekly time frame, and this red line over here is the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. So usually on the first major test, okay, we do see a bounce. Now technically we've already tested this, but I think that initial test, let's go back on over to the 4 hour. The initial test was more of a test of the 4 hour structure right over here at 5,688, and it was a major volatile move all the way since the top over here. So I was looking for that play right over here of this bounce, which was the weekly 200 EMA wick, as well as the bottom of the cloud, as well as a few other things that all lined up with why I was taking that play. Again, if you guys are on the Mango Seed, it is a little bit more involved as to how I play that move. Okay, it's not like my usual trend trading strategies. Again, I'm in a trend trade from the top over here. I'm short on my trend. Okay, I'm trending. My trend trades are towards the short side. I'm not looking for trend trades towards the upside. My upside moves are either short-term plays. Okay, they're not even mid-term plays. They're short-term plays. I'll be out of those moves within the day. So I still am in this position. I've taken profits off this position already, and like I said in the video that I posted, basically in the video that I posted in the Mango Seed, where I explained the strategy, I talked about how I was looking for a few things to happen, and one of the things to happen, which is happening right now as we speak, is for us to close this 12-hour above the 12-hour Tenkin. And have we done it? 12-hour 21 EMA, sorry, and the 12-hour Tenkin. Okay, so I was playing it off the 4 hour levels and the 200 EMA, and okay, we closed. This is okay. You guys are going to really enjoy that video. You guys are really going to enjoy the video, because I talked about this exact situation. Where we close underneath the 21 EMA, just underneath, and if we do this will actually confirm my bias to the downside. Okay, so essentially I talk about how I'm playing my trend trade towards the downside, but I'm taking a short long scalp towards the upside, and I'm looking for this to either close around the 21 EMA, underneath the 21 EMA, or above the 21 EMA. If it closes above the 21 EMA, what my strategy would be to essentially, I will have to manage my trade in a quick second. I have to pause the video. Okay, but essentially I'll quickly explain my mindset here, guys, for all of you too. So I don't want to spend too much time on this though, because I do have to pause the video quickly. But essentially my strategy was that, hey, if we close above the 21 EMA, we are likely going to see further upside, and then I'll use my long scalp to buffer against my short trade, because I'm still going to be saying short trend. Okay, but then because we close over the 21 EMA, I can use that to buffer against my trade towards the upside. Also, the profits I've already taken plays well in that, hey, my short trade did not take that much of a hit on this pullback, and now I can take my profits entirely at this level over here, and that essentially does not eat into any of my profits, and my short trade actually has more girth now when it moves to the downside, if it moves towards the downside. Okay, I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say. I have to quickly pause the video, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. What's up, guys? I am back, and now I am completely out of my long trade that I took right from this wick around here at the 200 EMA. Closed it out right over here because, hey, one, we talked about exactly this level in today's trading strategy video. We went through all the levels, right? How we came up with certain levels to take profits out of, and this was one of the levels. We were looking at the 1 hour as well as the 2 hour, and right over here we came up there, took my profits, got a little bit lucky in that I didn't have to wait too long at all for this trade. And this is what I mean, guys, when you it can be this simple. It can be this simple if you're just a little bit patient, okay, and you have certain plays that has an edge. Then all it requires is some discipline and the right execution to be able to make, what is this, And this was just a quick scalp trade, right? A good 5%. That's a $320 per BTC traded, okay? Per BTC traded. And this is not even counting for this big move over here that also is basically one of our regular plays, right? You can do this, guys. Again, just if you guys are disciplined in some other aspect of your life, all you need to do is bring that discipline on over to your trading life, and you can do this. You can do this. Okay, so now going back to what we were talking about before we paused the video. What was I talking? Oh yeah, right. We were on the 12-hour time frame, right? We were on the 12-hour time frame. The reason I'm here on the 1-hour time frame is basically we had pre-identified certain levels where I'd be looking to take the rest of my profits, and it lined up with also my 12-hour thesis, right? So you want that confluence over across different time frames to get a story of what is going on, and that's how you actually have your thesis. So my thesis, and I could be wrong on my thesis, right? That's what a thesis is. You're either wrong or you're right. So to be wrong, you need to have an invalidation point. My thesis was that, hey, I'm looking for a bounce off this level over here. I was playing it off the 4-hour 21 EMA actually, so I wasn't going to be invalidated unless the 4-hour closed underneath the 21 EMA. And we can go ahead and look at the 4-hour 21 EMA, and this might sound a little bit more convoluted to you guys, but again, this is a little bit more of a involved strategy that requires a little bit of tight risk management, especially because it's a scalp play, right? And I was playing it off this level, but I was also looking for that close on the 12-hour time frame. Okay, so a bounce off the weekly level, a playing it off the 4-hour level, and a close above this 21 EMA on the 12-hour time frame. Now if we didn't close over there, that would add to my short bias, right? And now I took my profits essentially. So right over here, I got lucky in that I was able to take my profits a little higher than I intended to, and that's going to happen. The trade may keep going up to the upside, in which case I'll be looking to add to my short position somewhere over here. I'll be looking for essentially a lower high to be forming over here, probably on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame. High dollar horizontals, and we may actually come and get rejected. I'm saying we may get rejected. We may actually come and test the 10 SMA at the very least. It looks like we are making that trudge up on over to the upside right now. If this actually happens fast enough, I may have to actually pause the video again and take a play. But what do I want to rush into this? So currently, if we go ahead and look at the daily candle, is probably turned green. Yep, there you go, it's turned green right over there. So right on that tick, just as I said it, the daily candle is now green. Now I'd be a little bit more patient with this one. I don't want to get too rushy. I've done well, and usually when I get like these kind of trades in a row, I end up getting a little too excited. And to me, my biggest weakness is winning too much in a row. Okay, when I win trade after trade, let's say I win like maybe 6 trades in a row, invariably the 7th and 8th trade are bad trades. Okay, that's what I've kept track of my trades. I hope you guys have a trading journal as well, especially if you're just starting out. Keep a trading journal. But yeah, trading journals do help. I was able to recognize that, hey, when I win, when I get a winning streak, I end up making stupid trades. Okay, so how I decided to counter that is not by like doing anything special. It was basically saying, hey, take a step back when you find yourself winning too much and you find yourself over trading. Okay, so that's my weakness. You may have a different weakness. We are all different, but you got to always self-reflect. Okay, always self-reflect and find out where you can improve. For me, that's one of my weaknesses. I know where I struggle, and over time I will keep improving, keep self-reflecting. And the way I approach things, guys, is by changing things up very, very little, making very small changes. Okay, so that allows me to really fine-tune where I'm really going wrong instead of making drastic changes. A lot of traders, what they end up doing is they jump from one strategy to a completely different strategy to another strategy completely, and that is the worst way to go about doing it. Okay, you'll try a strategy out for 2 or 3 trades, it's not working, I'm on to a new strategy. No, okay, a strategy is supposed to work over the long run. It's not supposed to work in the short time frame. Like, you can't take 5 trades and be like, hey, I'm not profitable. Okay, that's not how it works. It's about winning over the long term, and sometimes you have to stick with it. Okay, and it could be you not executing the strategy properly that is causing your losses too, right? Are you giving it enough time? Are you giving it a good self-reflection, figuring out where you can improve? All of these things matter, and as you can see, we are being sold into right now that 12-hour Tenkin, looking for us to 21 EMA. this was just basically a sell opportunity. If you were taking the scalp trade along with me, this was a sell opportunity to sell a little higher than your intended target. So as soon as we close underneath this 21 EMA, I was looking to get out of my long scalp, right? It also lined up with the 4-hour closing under that major zone over here. We are, to be fair, we are above the 4-hour Tenkin, okay? We are above the 4-hour Tenkin, but I am placing more emphasis on, I do think I have it over here. Yep, I'm placing more emphasis on this green horizontal over here. Now, I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong, and maybe the 4-hour Tenkin is more important, but it's not about being right. It's about having a thesis, playing your directional bias, and having proper risk management. Now, I was talking about the same thing over here, right? When I was taking my shot over here, I was like, hey guys, I could very well be wrong, and I'm ready for that. Mango is not about being right, okay? We leave that to the other YouTubers. If you guys are looking for someone to be right all the time, you guys are at the wrong place. I am not going to be right all the time. You guys are going to catch me being wrong, and I'm going to make a video on, hey, I was wrong over here. These were my mistakes. I've done that in the past, right? I've had videos where I've discussed, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I did this wrong, blah blah blah. Okay, why? Because I want you guys to not make my mistakes, because this channel is not about being right. Do I not like being right? No, of course I love being right, man. Like everybody does. I'd be lying to you guys. I'm not freaking a saint. Or I don't even know, even a saint would love being right. I don't even know if there is a word for what I'm trying to say. But anyways, going back to what we're talking about, this green horizontal line over here, the simple structure that we're talking about in the Mango Grove today too, in the Telegram chat, we're talking about how, hey, if we close underneath, we'll be looking for Bitcoin to come all the way down, back over to around 5,668 eventually. Maybe we do come there, maybe we close underneath here, and I'll be wrong about that, right? I do kind of hope that we get a little bit, I don't see that happening though. I don't see that happening. So if we do, I think we're just going to come down. I was looking for a lower high somewhere around here, 6,300, so I could add to my short position, but I'm pretty happy now already. Like, I don't want to get too greedy. The reason I can add to my short position now, by the way guys, is because I took this long trade, right? Because I took this long trade from this wick all the way up here. Now I have leeway to add more to my position because my risk has reduced. Because essentially what has happened, my average position size has gone up, right? My position size, not, I don't mean my position size, my position number, my dollar value. Man, Sean, I'm clearly tired. My dollar value has gone up now. Now instead of being short from around 6,000, not 6,000, from around 6,700, 6,650-ish, I'll be short a little higher on average. And some people have been asking me, Sean, how can you go long and short at the same time? There are multiple ways to do it. Okay, so one, if you're trading on Deribit or BitMEX too, I trade on Deribit, you could be trading the futures, right? So on your perpetuals, for example, on your perps, okay, you could take a long position for, let's say, 5 BTC. You could go long 5 BTC. Okay, let's say I went, short. You went short 5 BTC somewhere around here, and then you could take a long position on your September futures. So your perpetuals is where you take your short position, and on your September futures you will take a long position, right? Maybe you want to do, because so the way I do it is that, hey, I'm trading against the trend. On my long side, I will be taking a smaller position. So, or you could hedge, the entire position if you want to be a little bit more aggressive. Why I consider this aggressive is a different conversation. But what I do is I take a smaller position. So for example, you could take half your position and you could go long from here, okay? So your short is making money towards the downside, okay? And then when you long over here, while this pulls up, instead of your short losing money, you're hedged half of it. And then when you close somewhere around here, your short actually ends up getting an average position size that is better, okay, than initially. Okay, I hope you guys understand the math behind that. If not, hey, either shoot me a PM, like tag me in Mango Grove, and we can have a discussion where we can actually break it down a little bit more in further detail. Or hey, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm sure you guys get it. I'm sure you guys get it. If not, I'm here to help. Okay, so yeah, so you can, so this is one way of doing it. Or on Deribit, you can have a sub account. Now this is a better way of doing it too. This is by far, I think, if you're scalping especially, this is a good way of doing it, because what you could do on Deribit is create a sub account on your basically you'll have two different accounts, a main account and a sub account, and basically you can transfer on over some equity from your main account or from your Trezor or whatever to a sub account where it is completely isolated. Okay, this is how you in a way fake isolated margin on Deribit by creating a sub account. Okay, so usually I trade only cross, but when I put money into a sub account, it allows me to trade on the perps while trade a long position on the perps while having a short position on my main account. I'll have a long position on my sub account, and that will allow me to stick to a strategy without letting it affect my other strategy. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Again, this video is all over the freaking place, but I hope you guys will find this useful, because this is useful stuff. Okay, pay attention. What do I mean by that? Essentially, if you are in a trend trade on your perps towards the downside, all the way from over here, okay, and you want to stay in a trend trade, which is what I'm essentially hoping for this to turn into, perhaps all the way down to 4,200. Maybe I'm wrong. Trends don't always last, right? To stay in this trend trade, you don't want to get distracted by constantly trying to hedge in, hedge out. And if you're taking a scalp, this often ends up with you mentally thinking of it as a hedge, right? Kind of like how I explained it over here. It ended up being a hedge in my mindset, right? But if you are trading it on a sub account, or perhaps a completely different account, maybe you're trading on Delbit and BitMEX, right? You can have a different strategy completely and not let it affect your trend trading strategy. Okay, so that's another advantage of doing it that way. So yeah, let's go ahead and clear all of this out. And yeah, so we were talking about this structure over here. We've broken on a downside. We are testing it now. Can we close back over? If we close a 4-hour back over this green horizontal line over here, then my idea would be invalidated, and we are likely going to make that higher, lower high right over here, and then I'll be looking for a retest of this. Okay, not right over here. Okay, this is me being arrogant. Somewhere around here, looking for low high. It could be anywhere, but I'll be looking for it on the 12-hour time frame. I wouldn't be looking at the 4-hour anymore. But it does look like we are seeing sell pressure right over there. We're seeing sell pressure. And guys, what is this over here? Is this a potential head and shoulders? Is this potential head and shoulders? I don't know, but the psychology is there, right? We have a push up to the upside. Okay, the bulls got pressed against, the sellers stepped in, and the bulls got sold into, but the bulls stepped in stronger and said, nope, we are going further up. Okay, and they had a nice explosive move towards the upside. And then what happens? Well, we see more selling. Okay, the sellers are showing their hand. They got sold into. The bulls weren't able. Now this is where you're combining everything that we've talked about from all our modules. Okay, from our candlestick analysis module, from our trend analysis module, and hey, even the patterns and the psychology of what we often talk about. The bulls were sold into. The bears showed their hand, and they had follow through. That's more important, guys. More importantly, the bulls tried again, and when they pushed up again this time, they made a smaller push than the previous shoulder. Okay, now you could look at this area over here that makes it bullish. Okay, this wick over here has a bullish implication to it that kind of leans more into the bull side of things, leans in favor of the bulls, but the bears have this wick over here to cancel it out, right? So all I would be looking at is the candle closes. And when you're looking only at the candle closes, what do you have? Let's delete everything. Well, you have the psychology of the bulls trying once, the bulls pushing all they can, trying one more time, and then getting sold into. They make a weak effort, not much at all. The bears have full control of this attempt by the bulls, and then they get sold into, and they close underneath the neckline. Okay, now I think Krisha would be looking at the neckline like this. No. Okay, you guys will have to talk to Krisha about that. PM or ask her, she's always ready to help as well. But this is looking like the psychology of a head and shoulders to me. Do we have the volume over here? Usually you're looking for descending volume, so the volume is a bit suspect, guys. The volume is a bit suspect. Okay, so if we do breakdown, if we do see a sell-off, and we're seeing the sell-off right now, you guys are getting a really good the past two videos have been really exciting. But hey, Bitcoin has been exciting recently, so good stuff. Okay, so what more is there to talk about? Well, there's a measured move to be had of this, so we can go ahead and hide this. Delete, hide. Okay, and let's go ahead and do a measured move, trend line. Let's use candle close, and the measured move would be, did I get that right? Candle close, yep, that's good. So measure move is somewhere around here, 5,570, and it does line up with the structure over here, guys, where we broke on over to the upside. Okay, so perhaps this green line over here is a little bit wrong. Is it wrong? Let me zoom out. 12-hour time frame. I don't want to just adjust it to fit my bias. No, it is wrong. Should be here. should be here. Okay, so it should be 5,629. Did I move that by mistake during this video? Okay, so this Head and Shoulders does suggest we come and test this area over here. So we would finally get a retest of this an official test of the zone over here that we seem to have front run on this major dump towards the downside. Okay, so all of this was basically distribution, guys. It's looking more and more like distribution. I do want to go ahead and check the oscillators of the 12-hour time frame. And we do we have, okay, this is bearish divergence. It is a stretch. I did get a question, by the way, today. Essentially, he was asking me whether there's bearish divergence between this point over here and this point over here. So all the way from here to all the way from here. You cannot be looking at that, man. You can't be looking this far back. It actually is, it defeats the definition of RSI. Okay, it defeats the definition of RSI. So no, that you cannot be looking that far behind. Now this is coming from me, and I'm bearish right now. I want excuses for price to be going down, but you cannot be looking for things just to fit your bias, guys. You cannot. That is one way to lose money. That's one way to lose money. All right, so let's wrap up Bitcoin quickly before we move on to Chainlink. Here we have the daily, and the daily is not a very convincing picture at all. This candle over here, yes, we closed green, but it is a rejection, guys. We have closed underneath pretty much all the major levels that we talked about yesterday, right? What are we looking for Bitcoin to close under? Looking for Bitcoin to close underneath the Tenkin. What do? We close underneath the Tenkin. We're looking for Bitcoin to close underneath the 21 EMA. Did we expect Bitcoin to come up all the way to the Kijun? Actually, we're looking for it to come up to the monthly 21 EMA. Lined up with the Kijun, lined up with a few other levels too. I wish I kind of got filled over there, but hey, as soon as we saw the Mango Vine on the 12-hour give us that signal, we took the trade, and we will be constantly taking the 12-hour Mango. Because think about it, right? Again, even if it's wrong the next 2 times, does it matter if you're getting the trade 8 times out of 10, and each of those 8 trades have been big freaking trades? I don't care. I'll keep taking the trade. Keep taking the trade. All right, so here we have Bitcoin on the daily. Not the best picture. If we take out this low over here, guys, we would have confirmed this as our lower high. But the question now is, can Bitcoin actually put in a higher low? Okay, that is the big question. Now, Bitcoin can salvage itself on the daily time frame, but it does need to start putting in lower highs on the daily. Until I see that, I won't be changing my bias at all. So until we start seeing lower highs on the daily, I am going to be looking for only short trend trades. Okay, towards the upside, my trades will be in and out at the most a few hours, only day trades at the most. Okay, so we can go ahead and, again, the daily really bearish, got rejected on the 21, got rejected on the Tenkin, got rejected on Kijun. Any level that matters to us other than the 10 SMA, we have lost. Yes, it's a good sign that we've taken the 10 SMA. So perhaps, okay, this is what we're looking for now. We're looking for this 10 SMA to start flattening out, start curling, price put in a higher low here, okay, then do something like that, test the 21 EMA one more time. By then the 21's coming in, then we want to see the 21 and 10 SMA start crossing each other, start converging on each other, price start consolidating like that, and then put in a higher high. Now what are we going to have? We're going to have a lower high, we're going to have a higher low, lower high, higher high, right? We've changed the structure, we've changed the basically changed the bias. Until we do that, guys, I am going to be playing this towards the short side. Okay, all right, so now let's do Chainlink USD. We're looking at Link USD on the daily time frame, and let's look at the Mango ribbon. We haven't looked at this in a while on Chainlink, and okay, so I remember we did look at this actually a few days ago. We looked at this 200 moving average, and it did line up with a major weekly zone, right? We do have a blue box right over here. I'll pull up the horizontals in a bit. It is right over here, right? Yep, it's right over here. I do remember. And yeah, lining up with this 200 moving average, getting rejected off there. So this is major resistance, guys. If we can take over the 255 region on the daily time frame, okay, then we will be looking, things will start looking good. Until then, that is the major resistance. We are finding some support on the 10 SMA over here, so that is a good sign. We can turn on our horizontals now, see what's going on. Okay, cool. So we're living about this. I thought this horizontal over here was a little bit higher. Was it? Or was it here? This, okay, I think we're looking at this on the 4-hour time frame. That's what these drawings were right over here. Okay, so yeah, let me hide the Mango ribbon so you guys see what's going on. So we talked about this, right? We talked about this basically Chainlink coming in. No, this was yesterday. We were explaining what was going on over here and how we saw a rejection of this blue box ready over here. This was our weekly level, and Yeah, so when we talked about it, we were still on this candle right over here, this major candle, but as you can see, and this is a bearish picture, we came, tried again, got rejected, got into the middle of the zone, got rejected, and then came quickly down to the zone over here, got a little support, closed above, close, and yeah, we're still finding the support on this horizontal over here at $2.20. This is looking a lot like Bitcoin's picture, right? But Bitcoin has already closed a 4-hour candle underneath this. This is why I'm beginning to think that this horizontal was a little higher. Was it not? I'm gonna have to go ahead and check yesterday's video. I may have moved this by mistake. Okay, so this would actually, so if Chainlink has not closed underneath the horizontal, if it was somewhere here, which would make sense, right? See, look at that does look like a rejection, and I do believe it was somewhere over here, lines up with these guys as well, right? So I'll go ahead and check, because I don't want this to just, essentially the reason I'm saying this is because this fits with what Bitcoin is doing, in that Bitcoin also lost its possible head and shoulder structure and now seeing a retest and then spill on over to the downside. But I don't want this to just, I don't want to move that horizontal just to fit my bias. Okay, so I'll go ahead and check on yesterday's video to see whether this moved or not. $2.21. Okay, cool. If this was the horizontal, which I do believe it was, I think that we are going to come back down to $1.95, which lines up with what Bitcoin is also likely going to do. Bitcoin ticking up. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on. Get sold into. But hey, if it does come up, it's a opportunity for me to add to my position somewhere up higher. But hey, for now, I'll just be patient. I don't want to be over trading. It's the end of the freaking week, man. We have to enjoy our lives too, even though this coronavirus thing is ruining everything. Let's go ahead and talk about Link quickly on the weekly time frame. Basically, guys, the big thing with Link is this major blue zone territory over here. If we close above that, that's going to be really good. Until then, it is a fight. It is just simply a fight. Okay, I cannot get bullish until then. Okay, let's go ahead back to the daily and look at the Ichimoku and turn all the horizontals off. Look at the Ichimoku template. Okay, red, not good at all. We may make a move and test this flat cloud over here, guys, but again, right after that, we still have to get into the cloud and then pop over the cloud and then flip the cloud cloud back into green. So a lot of work for Chainlink to flip bullish. If you guys are looking at it as a long-term investment trade, then hey, perhaps this is opportunity. But I don't trade altcoins that way. I don't buy and hold any altcoins because it's just hard to keep up with the fundamentals. Bitcoin is hard enough, man. That being said, guys, I really enjoyed doing today's video, but I'm really tired too. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, throw it a like, throw it a subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see in the next video. I'll do my best to provide. Ciao.